Hello, everybody. Welcome back. As you can see, it's Monday, so we're back at our animal sanctuary. I decided I'll stick to that for now. And we are in another section of the animal sanctuary because last time we were busy in the vet's surgery, which I did, as you can see here, put up all the pipes. Oops, that one's going through the light just a little bit, isn't it? Let's just move the light out of the way of the pipes. That's probably a good idea. So we've got the pipes going through on all three sides. I moved that whole row of little towels here, and I've given them gloves and goggles and more gloves and some scissors over there. These I haven't really messed with much. I've just put a few odds and ends, like the fire extinguisher, which I thought was a good idea. And I started putting stuff on the shelves. You can see we have goggles. There's the rest of the towels that were in such a mess. These are the gloves. I did misplace that one specifically, so you can see it wasn't just like a whole big blob. And I put whiteboards up here so that the people can actually write schedules, daily schedules, move stuff around, erase, put back, whatever needs to be done. So there is that. So the surgery is looking nice. Oh, and I've put the whiteboards above the incubators as well. I also took advice from a viewer and a comment who I'd asked about pee pads for the puppies, and they said carpets. Now, yes, brilliant idea, but I also decided that I would use the serviettes. These are the flat serviettes as pee pads. So that came out of left field. I wasn't even thinking about them when I spoke about them, but we can have a look at, I was looking at bathtubs right now. We can look at this one, and we would take it down probably to, would have to be paper, but we don't have the option of paper, so poplin would be probably the best guess here, and that would be white, and then the details would be like a blue. You see the edging is not quite enough, but that can also be used. Please sit on the table. You're not going to sit on the table, are you? Dang it. Just everything will be good if you would sit on the table. There we go. But as you can see, it's still a little rough. Oh, we don't sell it. Maybe? That's smooth. I was looking more for a paper texture, but I have a feeling we're not going to get a paper texture. Maybe. That's sort of paperish, even though it's not. That's not bad, but I also thought these were quite cute because I put a pattern on them. And then, of course, we've got bunches of blankets to throw into the kennels. So there's that. And why am I walking around? Let's just take a walk. Nothing's changed back here. Vet's surgery has changed. And now we are going to be busy with the groomer. I'm not quite sure what I want to use on the groomer. So let's use the concrete and we can take it from there. Let's go up 3 meters and see what it looks like. We can always finish off the walls differently if it looks weird. Just think this might be interesting. And yes, I'm going to just go along and borrow windows and stuff from the main block, so it looks like it's going to fit in with the building, the existing building. There we go. So this is going to be the groomers, and I think I'm going to use, what the heck, let's use these doors. There we go. Tell me it's not going to fit in the middle. Of course it's not going to. Why? It's fine. I'll just add one block on, shall I? Sure. Are you in the middle of the wall now? Yes. Good. There we go. And then we can put windows along that whole wall there, and probably here as well. I'm going to, this is the parking lot, so we can always expand the parking lot here for all the cars, because we've got the dog park over there, or the meet and greet area over there for all the puppies. We've got the main entrance over here, so I thought we'll put the cafe over here. It'll be nice under the trees. We can add a few more trees around. And then we have an area behind there as well. So I think this will be quite cute. Oh, I was over here for a reason. So I wanted to borrow one of these. Should we do the softball wall? Going to be one block off, isn't it? Yes, it is. Dang it. It makes me weep. Real tears. It makes me weep. I want that gap there because I want a pathway through to the back. So I can either take the wall off or I can add the wall on. Like that. Oh look, it's the same size on both sides of the windows. Is that me cheating? Probably. And I'm going to do a little garden here as well. Maybe a waterfall and some odds and ends here. So this is going to be the reception area, and then we will have the showers and the baths and stuff like that over here. And that was what I was actually looking at in the bath section. So I do, oh, I'm not there anymore, am I? All right, now what, let's do floors first quickly, and then we can go, why am I copying that? Okay, we're probably going to have to keep within the colors, but we can introduce a different color. It's too fluffy. I like that. It's 3 colors. Let's see what this looks like. Could be fun just for the heck of it. Oh yes, that's lovely. I like that. And it's not too over the top. When I put the ceiling on, or the roof on, it will look a bit better. But that actually looks really nice for the groomers. And then we could probably use the plain white squares. How big are those? All that, like that. A little bit small. There we go. I think that looks really cool. Then we can maybe do that, and we'll see what we need to do on that side. But that works for me. So I was actually looking at showers because it's always good to have a hand shower. Let's put that on the wall first. And can you see it actually goes down quite far? But there's always a but. If we go and look at the baths, I was looking at this one because it's pretty square. I think that perfect actually. So we could do a low one for the bigger animals, and then we could do a taller one. How many blocks is that? So that's 1 meter by 2 meters. very bright in here, isn't it? How much taller should it be? See, that's not a bad height for the little animals. So you've got the two different heights there. And we could probably use these tiles, but maybe borrow the gray from down there. No. What about if we borrowed that? That's quite cute. And then we can use that on the wall over here as well. So we can fill the tub, or we can use it as just a place to put whoever we're grooming. I don't know if a Great Dane's going to fit in there, but I have a plan there because my thought process was this area. If we take, hold on, the plain white, no pattern, put it down here. So this is medium, high, and this is the super low one. And then we can probably just put a lip on it. That's why I wanted the square, because then we can use our little friend, that. Very white in here, isn't it? I'll just make that a little bit taller. Now, am I going to be able to get this in there? Just to match the curves in the bath. So has anybody heard anything about the release date? I haven't really been paying close attention, but I'd be very interested to know when Pets is coming out. There we go. So we've got the different heights: medium, low, and high. The question is now, do I use just the plain white ceramic? The joy of it. Always being able to see if you've got it in the right place when you color it. Okay, and because these ones have got plug holes, this one doesn't, I'm going to have to put a drain in it. Shower will be that little one. There we go. And then we can use one of these over here as well. So that is our washing station. How's that? We'll put a desk and stuff here, chairs to sit, and next to the washing station will be a grooming station. I'm thinking of using shelving as sort of a room divider or something fun, maybe like this. Let's see what that looks like. So then the people would come in here. They could still see everybody working on the animals. The reception would probably be right here with the windows sort of behind them. Or the reception there and some chairs along the window here. Now, we are going to need towels. We are going to need all kinds of yummy goodies. I can never find these workshop benches. They always confuse me. For whatever reason, don't ask me why, they confuse me. So I'm going to do the base that color. And these are going to be the actual group. Oh, I'm not flying. These are going to be the grooming tables. There we go. So that once you're done there, the animal can be brought here, placed on the table. But there's also enough space around if you need to groom on the floor. And I'll probably put some shelves on the wall, but keep fairly narrow shelves so that you do have that space available for brushing and grooming and all the rest of that good stuff. Now, I would like to put more windows, but I think I'm going to use these ones along. You see, that's going to destroy the shelving thoughts. Maybe shelves along there and windows at the same height as the long windows. I think so. Yes, it is. Awesome. They just need to be flipped, of course, because, you know. Okay, so that is the idea. Now for a roof here, I'm going to go for a plain white ceiling. Yes, it's going to be bright, but it will also block the sun out for a while, and then we can put a top on it. But that's a really white, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Oops. I like that. The grey shells work with the grey walls, but we are going to add a color, and it's probably going to be pastels. We're going to more than likely stack tiles. I hate stacking tiles, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And you're probably going to need large towels for this. Now, the pattern is perfect, and I'm thinking baby blue. Let's see what it looks like on the shelf. Fairly intense blue, isn't it? We're going to stack these towels properly this time. No, of course not. That's better. And then we can do that in various colors. So we can go, let's stick with the pure colors. So we can do a pink, maybe yeah, let's do a pink. I'm just having fun with colors. Oh, only 3 towels will fit there. That's sad. That's fine. And then last but not least, what color are we going for? Yellow? Oh yeah. We got all these fun colors in here. And if you look here, you actually can place one of these towels on the table. It's very cute. But we're going to copy. What color should we copy? Green, blue. Why am I copying it like that? Let's go. Let's see what the yellow one looks like. Very cute. All right. So we have that. Then we're going to need a couple of shelves here that you can grab shampoos and stuff like that out. So I'm going to go for probably something fairly simple. So look at that. Is that new? They've been sneaking stuff in here. No, that's not new. Is that new? I swear I was in this game yesterday. Am I losing my mind? It's possible. But let's see what a towel looks like on here. We would need a big towel. Yes, that works. And let's do the pink one. That is very cute. All right. I say let's do it. That's going to be too close to the water, but because it's got the shelf as well, so that's perfect. At the same height, probably-ish. Okay, green, blue. Nice. And then we can do all the shampoos. And we've got all the shampoos and stuff here, so we might as well, hey? We've got squeezy, squishy. This is shower gel. Then, there we go. And then any groomer will probably have this as stock on their shelves. So if you wanted to purchase some, you could. Well, let's find a good spot for presenting our products. There we go. And I think that is shampoo. We'll do shampoos. Let's just place one and then we can, I know it says body wash. It snaps together quite nicely actually, so we'll do that. And once again, present it to our happy customers. And then the last thing we're going to use is conditioner, of course. You know what, let's just buy it and place it here, and then we'll take it. I don't think we've got nail clippers. I don't think they've ever offered that to us, but it's fine. We've got a razor, and we've got a hairdryer. That actually looks pretty good. So let's look at our bathroom products here. We've got probably a laundry basket for, you know, all the dirty towels that we are going to end up with. So let's maybe put a few along this wall here. They're not cages, they're just for the dirty towels, the wet towels, so they can be washed. So here we start with the, I say, grooming. Let's change this. Let's go, oh yeah, hairbrush. I'll consider those another tool. Nobody will know the difference. Definitely hairdryer. Maybe. We back there. All right, and then the other thing that might be useful is that beard brush is perfect for animals. Little small, but it'll be fine. And then this comb is actually quite good for, it'd be like a flea comb. What else do we have in this category? Oh yes, we're going to need that. Sure, let's use that. It's a straight razor. That might be a little dangerous in here. Okay, that's the other version of that I actually prefer. So we'll just delete that. So let's just change this to that. I think these should be changed. It's a little hectic. Better. And then this brush, I'm thinking let's do a wooden base. That's mostly the tools of the trade. The one thing we do have that we can add would be a hand dryer. Although I don't quite know how you would use it. You'd have to get a pipe of some description. Look, it sits on, it actually sits on the table. Should we place it here so we can like dry the fritters? We just don't have a flexible tube that we could use as a drying whatever. What else have we got here that we can play with? We are going to need a little cupboard for brooms and stuff like that. Green broom. Maybe we should put a cupboard here. Move these windows down a smidgen and put a little cupboard there. Or maybe just move that down a smidgen and put the brooms and stuff here. There we go. We don't have a dustpan, do we? No, we don't. That's sad. Gonna need a couple of these. All the fluff. And then the products and everything. So everyone will have one of these at a station. I have no idea what that will end up being, but it's going to just be considered some sort of fluffing tool. I'm not being rude. It's you know. And we need ribbons as well for some of the puppies. We can maybe have a display of collars, lots of combs. We could, if we've got space on the shelf for a comb, no, but we could probably put one on the side of the bar. You know, for those days when you're having a bad hair day in the shower. I can see this person at this station being like, does anybody know where my whatever is? This person is like, everything is here. I've got mine, I've got yours, I've got everybody's stuff here. Come on, put there. And then this one's like, you seen my my grooming comb. I need to get these tangles out. That's looking a little, I'd say messier, but it's looking good. And these bottles are smaller, so they can probably fit in here for the display. I don't know, this is for, you know, if your pup's got a sore skin, or I had a Labrador in my lab. Actually, I had a Labrador and I had an Alsatian cross. And those two dogs, my goodness. Oh, I've got this one. I did. And they were actually really good with baths. The Labrador loved water. I mean, yeah, Labrador. And they'd both been through dog training. They were good with other animals. They were good with people, and they really loved having a bath. It was like, yay, water. I love water. Give me more water. I'm just throwing a couple of these products underneath here. I don't think this person would put that product like that. So let's straighten it up. Thank you. What are we missing? We are missing that. See, this person is really organized. They get to the station early. Oh no, not like that. That's better. And they organize their life. There we go. We need a bucket. We need a mop. There we go. And then the bucket, which is there. I'd really like to be able to hang collars. I mean, yes, I can see pooch in that. So I'm just going to throw a few here, and then we can always make a hanging display. There we go. And then the other thing I would like is some dog treats. Just wish this carton wasn't open. It won't fit there. It will fit here. That's pretty bright and cheerful there. I might move the collars because that doesn't quite work for me. Maybe there. Maybe that one over there. And then we can put something fun in there. And we've got the cat statue. Is that an indoor or an outdoor statue? I think it's outdoor. Yes, it is. I think we have to go back to the cow print. There we go. There's it. And then the dogs are inside. Should we have a what the hell? Let's do that. Now the only dog we really have is the Egyptian dog. Don't think that's gonna work. But in toys we have a wolf. I think that's cute. We need some stuff down here. Maybe how to look after your pet. We don't have any books that tell you how to look after your pet, so we're going to have to get some of those. Right, I think that'll work. With the wheel that we've got here. I think that will work. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And chair. I mean, you know, it's going to happen. Yep, that works. We don't have a card reader, do we? We have a till. We don't have a card reader, but we could probably use that as a reader instead of using, you know, a point of sale instead of a till. It's cards only. Sorry, guys. And then we will need a laptop. And then maybe a printer, because then we can print out your receipt for you. There we go. And we aren't going to really need much in the way of stationery, but I think we do need to get my new favorite appointment book, whatever it may be. There it is. You see how cool that is when it's open. Oh, that's cute. Pink and yellow. Sure, let's do that. Perfect. I mean, what could be better than that? I'm wondering, do we actually need a cupboard there? Or should we just... We've got all these shelves under here. Maybe we can put some windows along here as well. It can go over slightly. There we go. I like that. We've got the laundry baskets. We've got that. I think we do need to put in something here so we can offer coffee and stuff like that if the people want to wait. So seeing as we're not putting any shelves here, let's put this along here. Bins further over. And maybe just a counter. Do we want cabinets? Put texture on these. You see them? The window look too low. It's fine. I'll move the windows up. Okay, let's go with that instead of that. Now my thought process in this is if we get a skinny one with drawers, okay, can take a bin, pop it under here, and then I suppose we're going to have to tone this yellow down a little bit, aren't we? Yes, that's better. And look, I'm going to work with that. Let's just go like that. Much better. Of course we can't. Like that, you see. The only problem is it doesn't match the tops. What is the top? It's plastic, of course. You've got your spoons in here. You've got your coffee machine. There it is. Now we've got two sizes in this, so let's go for the smaller one. We don't need a huge one. For this, let's go blue. There we go. Perfect. Let's get a kettle. It look weird. No, not too bad. Okay, and then I want shelves. I want a freestanding shelf. It's probably going to have to live there. So I want a freestanding shelf in front of this window here. It should be deep enough for mugs and sugar bowls and stuff. Okay, let's see if this will work. Well, hello. I'm in a towel. I am a towel. Okay. Okay, coffee mugs and sugar and all the good stuff. So, what can we put on this mug? We have a couple of things. We put some animals on our mug. That's cute. Why am I putting them on the lower shelf? Okay, that is very cute and it's very appropriate for this place. Maybe we need to change the color. No, because then it'll take the background out. Fine, let's do that. And then we can do the sugar and the coffee and we are just going to have to change that and that. What do you think of that? I like it. And then the only thing really we need to do is put some lights in and some chairs. So I think I wouldn't mind putting a blind across here because that sun is going to be a problem. Maybe we need to put a pattern on it. We've got the cats on the towels, so maybe, oh, those paws are ginormous. Dang it, ginormous. I don't know, does that look weird? It's fine. It's just fine. And then we need a couch or a couple of chairs. I'm thinking a sofa, something like this. very colorful, very bright, fun. You copy, and then some lights. We put it behind the desk here so the person has control, and we maybe put another one over here. So we've got two different light switches, one for the front part of the shop, one for the back part of the shop. Fine. We'll do this. And the only thing I want to add in this whole place is maybe a couple of plants out of the way of risky pups. So those there, and then some up top there. I'm going to put it there because I want to put it up top there, but we'll put the plant in it first. So let's find something tall-ish. I like the new figs, that they actually really cool. Let's see. How big are you? Pretty tall. Can we move you down a little bit? There we go. But you're sticking through the wall. Okay, and what about you? You good? Let's move you down just a little bit because you're almost the same size as your friend over there. That's a little bit better. And then something with some edge hanging. Very pink. Maybe a little too pink. One way to get the plants out of the pet's reach is to stick him on the top of the shelf. Cat, on the other hand, might just knock that over. It'll just be fine. I think that's very cute. And I think that's enough. What do you say? We do need to build a little patio here so that people can come and step up. And then I'll get a sign. What should we call it? Should we call it Bubbles? A damn fiddly pig sticking through the blind and the wall. And I like the grey. Maybe we need to put some neon in there. Maybe some pink neon, because pink light makes everybody look better. I'll play with it and let you know. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. I'm possibly not going to be uploading on Wednesday. I do apologize. I'm just got something that I need to do, but I will definitely get an upload by Friday. And if I finish what I need to finish faster, there will be an upload then on Wednesday. So I hope you have a lovely Monday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.